Just the wrong side of straight, and once again you see the players that they don't really want to be playing if they can help it for a red along the top cushion. They feel that they're the shots that are missable, so deep screw, left hand side. They'll settle for that. Could have gone wrong, but it's okay.
I was just thinking,
16.
John, that could be quite a big turning point when Mark left himself hampered with that red, because he's won 3 in a row. He'd lost the 3 opening frames, and if that cannon had worked out for him, he would have given himself a chance
23.
to have taken 4 in a row.
Yeah, certainly the momentum was in his favour, wasn't it? He was starting to motor. I think the reason that he didn't hit the black as he would have liked, he just needed to get a little bit more pace into the shot, and of course he was concerned he may have missed the pink.
24. $30. 31. 38.
Quick glance at the scoreboard just to see how many he needs to make the frame safe. .29 in front. So we can score
39.
enough without needing the difficult red along the cushion. So you would have to say Mark Selby has stopped the rot.
45. 46.
Well, we keep saying it was 6-5 last year in the quarterfinal of the Masters between these two. Might have another last frame decider, John, the way they're playing.
Yes, although both players are playing very well, there's just that one slight mistake, positional play or a pot that's missed.
50.
Just making absolutely certain they're just rolling that red in. I think Mark Allen will stay in his seat. He's getting his drink ready for the next frame. So he does concede, and Mark Selby has stopped the rot. He lost 3 in a row, but he's now back in the lead at 4 frames to 3.
Thank you. Frame 8. Mark Allen to break.
terrific pot, and it had to be hit absolutely perfect. It was one of those, if it goes in the pocket, obviously you're on the black, you leave anything offline, and he could have careered into other reds. So it was a very confident pot, that, from Mark.
Eight.
Just nudging
9.
off the reds, but he just let that cue ball run loose a little bit. This makes this black more difficult. Unless he's got a natural angle to get on the red, a bit of work to do with the cue ball. This is tough, striking down like this. Well, that's a tremendous pot. That is a tremendous pot he's played there.
16.
And that's when we say about kicks. You notice that cue ball, it must have bounced twice before it hit the black. Then the black bounced. Oh, but he's missed the red, and you just catch the near jaw on these pockets, and they won't go in. You have a look, it just caught the right-hand jaw as we saw it. And that's the strange thing about this match. Both players in little fits and starts look to be playing well. But when we look at the pot success, we usually say about 90%, and they're both under 90%, and that's the mistakes that are being made occasionally. Well, if the red goes to the left middle, it's okay. Otherwise, he's gone a bit awkward.
Put all his concentration into that pot because there wasn't a lot of room past the red, and that's caused him to leave himself slightly hampered here. And that was the result, having to bridge over the red. Much more difficult to control the cue ball.
16.
And that might just be the end of break. Does this red go into the middle? Must pass the other red. It does.
17.
And if the next cannon works out, he's going to develop all the reds, you'd have to feel. Just got to make sure he gets this right. If he was to go into those reds, it would split beautifully. Somewhere near that line would be ideal. He was always going to be on this red, and he didn't have to power into it.
24. $25.
That's their tournament pot success rate, and they're both at 91%, so it's not quite as we showed you in the 90s in this match. They were both at 88. $32.
Well, he's given it plenty of thought. It looks as though he could get through to the red as closest to the left middle. Play for the black. Well, he felt it was too thin and he couldn't get round the back of the black, and it's gone wrong.
He's going to have to play down the table off the black, really, because he can't get down the table from the pink. And just thin off the left side of the black as we look at it. It's going to need quite a bit of help to reach that, because it's almost the full length of the table, so he'll need a couple of extensions here. But can he just reach round? And might be able to. Yeah, he's okay.
Mark Allen, 33.
I think there's a pot on here. The red second from the right of the pink. I think it goes into the corner.
Yeah, and he can avoid canning into the other reds, get somewhere near the line.
Well, in the end, I think he decided against the pot and tried to play safe off it, but he hit it so badly, so thin, and he's left Mark Allen a chance here. This red just to the right of the black will pot. And there's another one in the other corner that will pot as well. And he's got it, and he's on the black. Now, this positional shot, this next one could be the key. As he pots the black, he'll run into the other red. Just got to judge the cannon correctly. And judged it to perfection. Frame winning chance.
8. Nine.
You won't want to be playing any little cannons here. Play a good position and don't risk
16.
having to cannon into the pink and red there. You can score enough with the loose reds.
Seventeen.
He risked the cannon that time. It's gone slightly
24.
awkward. Might be able to just cue past that red.
Thank you. 25.
No problem now. Should be all square at 4 frames each.
Yes, and Mark Selby will be
32.
getting a little bit concerned. Not at the scoreline, because 4 each, he knows he's quite capable of getting those 2 frames that you need to win the match. But it's just the nature of the way he's been losing them. He got in first in this frame. Potted a couple of terrific balls, but then missed the one to the corner. and he played a very poor safety shot. So he's making errors, and those errors are being magnified now, and they will get more and more magnified the closer we get to the winning line. First to 6,
38.
remember, in these best of 11s.
39. $45, 46. $52. Mark Allen, 52, and good.
Well, it didn't matter about the red. The poor safety shot from Mark Selby was the one that left the opportunity for Mark Allen. He was 3-0 down. He's levelled again now, though, at 4 apiece. Yeah, just 1 or 2 errors creeping in from both players, to be fair, Dennis, but I just feel more from Mark Selby, and maybe this is a story of Mark Selby's season so far.
Yeah, he lost in the last couple of tournaments. Lost in the last 32 to Ken Doherty in the Grand Prix, I think it was, and he lost in the UK Championship also. So, as I said, Ken was saying at the top of the show, maybe this would kick-start either player's season if they could have a good result here. He lost in the UK to Ronnie. Ronnie beat him 9-3.
Thank you. Frame 9. Mark Selby to break.
He seems to be able to find that spot each time with the break-off shot. He breaks off from the other side of the table, and it's amazing. I think most of his break-off, the white's finished exactly where it is there. Still a route back for Mark Allen, though. Not quite in behind the yellow. That's a bonus. That's a big bonus. Mark was trying to get the cue ball on the ball cushion, and when you drop tight in behind the colour with the reds open like that, John, it is a nice little Brucey, isn't it?
Yes, and now I want to see your line, Dennis. How do you get out of this one without leaving a pot on?
I had to rush the line in, so he's going to hit the blue there, but that's the sort of line. If he misses the blue, he can get to that red.
Foul and a miss. Mark Allen, 4.
It's so severe, this misrule, isn't it? I mean, I know what Michaela's thinking there. There's so many reds on the table, entitled to hit 1. But surely there's got to be something tactical about trying to escape from these snookers. It's so severe.
Had a bit more time to get the line up, and that's the sort of thing you'll be looking at again. Could slip around the back of that red, though.
Does it reach?
Foul and a miss. Mark Allen, 4.
Of course, because he's snookered on all balls, he could have as many attempts as he likes at this. He got the line perfect there. It was just an inch short.
Okay. Mark.
No. It's not.
Michaela says, "Okay, Mark." He said, "No, it's not." I'm in trouble. Better pace. How's the line?
foul on a miss. Mark Allen 4.
Well, the crowd enjoyed that little exchange there. That was nice to see again. It's been played in a great spirit, this match. It is harsh, but it's so easy to hit a red, but he doesn't want to just hit any old red. Now this is more pace. This looks good to me. Well, Patsy Fagan, and well, he's enjoyed that. Patsy's been here most of the Masters. I think the whole crowd have got involved in this tussle, and it's a very entertaining match, it has to be said.
How are you?
There's Patsy with his partner Jeanette, and they're listening in. You must be enjoying this, or you give us a little smile if you're enjoying. Yeah, thumbs up. Jeanette was the daughter Ronnie Gross, who was a terrific character, wasn't he, John?
Yeah, 3 times English amateur champion was Ronnie. When I first came to London, I used to play in the Ron Gross Snooker Centre, along with Patsy and Jimmy White and all those in Neasden.
Yeah, done a few exhibitions there back in the 70s, believe it or not. When you used to get 15 quid a night, John, eh? Well, Patsy got 20.
Well, that's what he told the taxman anyway. Well, it was a pretty good safety shot. For a moment I thought it was going to leave a red to the right corner. You had to catch that very thin, and it was nearly very good if it had just stopped and the brown had come to cover the reds. But there is a red available now into this left corner pocket. Just depends. If it's straight, it's a problem with the colour, but I think he's just got an angle to go up for the blue. Good cueing needed. And good cueing got. Too far for the blue, but I think the brown will do as a second prize, although that cue ball keeps on running.
That last shot is as good as anybody in the world at that particular type of shot. It really is a Mark Selby special. And they're tough shots, you know, when you're playing with topspin.
Yeah, just run on a few inches too far. I think he can still pot the brown. He's concerned about a kiss on the green, and if he kisses the green, if he cannons the green, it'll stop the cue ball. But he judged it, but he was only going to flick off the green. Now how's your luck? All bad.
he threw his chalk about 10 feet up in the air, and now he wants to eat it.
Well, he's having a good hard look at this, so maybe he can just get past the pink to pot this red.
Yeah, he's playing with lots of side to try and just make the angle, isn't he?
What do you reckon?
He's gone to Mark, who's sitting right in line with the shot, and he says, "What do you reckon?" I don't think Mark's going to tell him.
What's the pink?
This is Mark 1 to Mark 2. Come in, Mark 2. Can I pot this?
Tight, isn't it?
Yeah, Mark says it'll go, yeah.
Yeah, for him. We'll check it out. Probably does go. Too much at stake.
Friday night at Wembley Arena, and everybody's having a ball.
Mark Selby, 5.
Mark Allen's safety play seems to be, well, it's got better as the match has gone on. And, well, he can get to the red to the left of the pink to get the cue ball back, but that blue always seems to be a big ball in the middle of the table, doesn't it? And you want to be making contact with that. You may leave a red on. Looks the obvious red to play safe off.
Yeah, that's the red that he can make contact with, and if he could get somewhere near the line, he could get the cue ball down, and the green would help to cover things. He's a bit concerned about pushing a red towards the pocket, but that looks the obvious ball to come back down off, or the easier one. He spotted another one that he's looking at, but he'd be looking for a gap, but surely he's got to play the ones to the left of the pink, which he now has decided to. Didn't want to hit them quite that thick, although he's left nothing easy. There's a pot into the right corner, but where would the colour come from? That's the red that he's looking at. He'd go over and cannon into the pink and reds, you would think. Could try the one closest to the cushion, play for the blue. The only red he would leave would be the one he's taking on, but he's got a shot here. He feels he can find the gap and take this pot on here. Well, he cannoned the reds, but still managed to get back up the table. I was just wandering around there to look at the angle of the pot into the right corner, the one that's near the pocket, but that's a thin one. The one to the left looks as if it's dead straight. He potted a similar type shot, but he had an angle to get back up the table. This time the angle's not there, as you can clearly see from that picture.
Well, there's a couple of those long shots he's tried to force in and make the angle, and not been that close to him. And I think he may have been fortunate, unless this red cuts in, and I don't think it does. The red could have quite easily finished over the pocket here, but he got away with it, and that's not a good safety shot from Mark, because all he's done, he's knocked it over the middle pocket. Now the only saving grace at the moment, there's not many colours to go at. Pink and black tied up, green's not on its spot, yellow's down at this end, not certain to be able to get on that. Don't know what you play here.
I think he might be able to play the cannon onto the pink if he pots it and disturb that. I'm not sure. Well, he tried that.
1.
Didn't quite get into it enough. Not straightforward here, because if he runs off the yellow, the left side, as he looks at it and puts the white up in the corner, he could leave that red that's near the right corner pocket.
Yellow.
So he's got to get the cue ball over towards the green. Well, he's in behind the blue.
Mark Selby, 1.
Well played. This is a tough situation. I don't know if he can get across the table and just land on that red. It would be a great shot. It would be so easy to slip past the red and leave it on. So somewhere near those lines would get him to that red. Been a great tactical battle. Balls went a little bit awkward in this frame, but been going some 17 minutes and only 2 reds gone. Hawkeye just showing you what Mark Allen's faced with. Might attempt to pot this red. He's playing a safety shot screwing back, so if he doesn't pot it, he'll want it to wobble in the jaws. It didn't wobble in the jaws, but he's managed to get it up and down the table. but he got a good cue ball.
Anybody else?
Something in the crowd just disturbed him now. He had a quick look up.
Foul and a miss.
Oh,
Mark
can he
Allen,
get past
4.
the pink to pot this red? That was a bit careless from Mark. Okay, potted, but just a bit concerned about the cue ball careering into reds there. And he tried to pinch a bit. It looked unnatural to cannon one of those two reds, and he just tried to pinch a little bit, and you can't do that on these tables.
Well, he came to the table there, Mark Selby, and didn't think he'd had much of a shot on, but surely there must be a possibility of a plant, these two reds near the right corner. Or maybe he can't get through to the middle one of the three, so he's having to make a 3-ball plant. He was once the world champion 8-ball, so he knows a thing or two about plants.
I thought you were going to say he was once the 3-ball plant champion.
But a bit more difficult on the snooker table. Now, has he got away with it? I don't think so. No, he can get past the yellow to the red. And with the black now in the open, and even if the black was potted at some time, I think when it goes on its own spot, it will be available into at least one of the corner pockets. This is a good chance.
That's the first red that Mark has potted in 21 minutes, believe it or not. We've had a sustained bout of safety in this frame. And a little shake of the head tells you he must be dead straight on the pink, because those reds are all blocking each other into the right corner pocket by the looks of things. They look to be situated nicely, but they're not.
Sure.
If he's straight, he can get the black back on its spot.
7.
Just leave the white near enough where the red is here, and I think he can do that, and that would be a help, getting the black back up, because it's certainly available into one corner, if not both.
Thank you. 8.
See if he could leave the white somewhere near the red. There's a couple of reds he can get on. And just watch this cue ball here. See, options there. If he pulls up a bit short, he's got a red to the left corner. If he goes too far, he's got one to the right.
I'm going to say Michaela's putting on the blue
50.
spot. And funnily enough, if she had put on the blue spot, and this is where the rules changed, hasn't it? And Mark Allen had played, it wouldn't have been a foul. Years ago, it used to be, didn't it?
That's right, yeah. Very rarely does Michaela make a mistake. Just a little lapse in concentration, as you knew immediately.
Yes.
All about the cannon here. As long as he judges the cannon correctly, he'll leave himself on the black. Just a delicate little cannon needed. As long as he pushes the red away and doesn't snooker himself, the black will be available. There's another red he could cannon into also. He's got to be careful here. Well, for me, he's cannoned into the
60.
wrong red there.
That was poor. There's no other word for it. That was poor.
Hit it on the wrong side. You need to cannon that red on the opposite side, which he did.
Blue ball.
Nominated the blue, so he's got to play this with a lot of side because the middle pocket's in the way. Lots of left-hand side here. Well played.
Mark Allen 60.
You can expect a few misses again. We did have a lot on the opening frame, but the rest has been pretty good. But we're down to the stage now, both players needing 2 frames to go through to the semi-final, so you can expect the odd error creeping in as the tension grows.
Giving this plenty of thought, and this is now the longest frame of the match. And shot time is beginning to creep up. Mark Selby was at 21 seconds, which I said was pretty quick for Mark, but the ball sometimes dictate our frames being played. And he's now creeping up to 24 seconds a shot.
And as you said, you're on the longest frame, and there's only been 5 reds potted.
Foul. Mark
Well,
Allen
he was
4.
trying to leave the cue ball in the jaws of the pocket, but he will have left this red. Of course, the cue ball can be put anywhere in that D, and he'll find the gap between the yellow and the green to leave himself a chance at this red to the right corner, I'm sure.
Sometimes when you have a sustained bout of safety, you just lose your rhythm slightly, and that's why he's contemplating taking this long red on. He's trying to play it in such a way that he could run through and back down, but the yellow's slightly in the way for that. If the yellow wasn't there, he could just move the white a little bit more to the left there, and then he could take the pot on and avoid canning into the other reds. Not easy. The red will go on the left of the pink, but where's the cue ball going to finish up? That's where he'd like it to be. So that would mean he'd have to cannon the other red, so he'd have to be so precise with this shot. If he pots that red and cannons the other red, he could leave the pink on, but he'd have to judge it to perfection. Tried to get there without the cannon, and he's given a chance to Mark Allen.
He's making too many mistakes at the moment, Mark Selby. Anything mid-range, you're not certain he's going to knock it in, and he's not really reached the standard that it seemed likely when he won the second and third frames. This is a terrific opportunity now for Mark Allen to go in front for the first time in the match and go within one frame of a place in the semi-final. But he's not, well, he may just be able to get this red to the right corner.
4.
But where the colour comes from, as you see, he can just about get on it. But he's going to be running into other reds, so needs a little bit of luck with position for the colour. Well, managed to slip off a red and has finished not bad on the pink to the right middle. He's got a 35-point lead. Good shot. Played it confidently and now has set himself up for a frame-winning opportunity.
12.
That's Michaela Tabb. Oh, you can see the way the red bounced. He took the pace out of the cue ball. He's not perfect on this pink. I don't know whether it's just a simple case of rolling the pink in and being nice on the next red. Straighter on the pink. It's been a formality.
Eighteen. 19.
Just about okay. May have to run through and come off the cushion. Got a heavy contact, but it hasn't spoiled the shot this time. It was always going to be on this red.
25.
Yeah, it just sounded heavy, that one, didn't it? He's a red and a colour away from winning this frame now. Well, red, colour, red. That's what's required. And nicely on the pink to the middle. So play for the red that's just to the right of the black. I think it goes to the right corner. The red is all he will need.
Yeah, and you couldn't have an easier pot
32.
to leave your opponent needing a snooker. Things looking a little bit serious now for Mark Selby. He's going to have to win the last 2 frames to go through to the semi-final in a tournament that he plays so well in. He's a winner and was runner-up to Ronnie O'Sullivan last year.
40.
Exhibition type shot to try and get all the way around the table, but he
46.
won't bother. He'll just attempt to fluke one here. He tried to cut it along the
Mark Allen, 46.
cushion. Well, the longest frame of the match, and with the aid of that 46 break, the young man from Northern Ireland has got his nose in front for the first time. He leads 5-4. He just needs 1 for a place in the semi-final.
Thank you. Frame 10. Mark Allen to break.
Good break-off shot from the young man from Northern Ireland who's looking to win this frame and a place in the semi-final. Excellent shot. That to me has been the key, or the reason for the turnaround. Apart from the few shots that Mark Selby's missed, Mark Allen's safety shot has certainly improved as the match has gone on. That was a pretty good shot, but couldn't find that baulk cushion. So with his hand on the table, a chance now for Mark Allen to play a much better safety shot than that one. And that time he did miss hit the safety, and he's been very, very fortunate. Puts his hand up to apologise to Mark Selby, but boy, he was lucky there. Caught the first red too thin, caught the second red, but flicked the blue, and that's why the cue ball's finished there. Can't beat a bit of luck.
The flick on the blue, hey? My friend Flicker. Now then, let's see, at first glance it looks as if he's left quite a few. Now what is available into this left corner pocket? Maybe not a lot. All covering each other, so Mark Might have been rather fortunate there. There might be one of those reds will pot, but he'd be canting into the reds around the black area there. So he had a bit of a result there. This one next to the blues, not easy. That's the one that he could get to the potting angle of, but tough. Oh, nicely played. He is a bit of a demon potter, this young player, and while Mark knows that the colours are pretty awkward, pink's out of commission, black's rather difficult. Mark Selby has played 9 matches here at the Masters. He's won 8 of them.
6.
This is his 3rd appearance here. He's won it, and then he got through to the final last year. Lost to Ronnie O'Sullivan.
7.
Whereas Mark Allen, this is his 2nd appearance in the Masters, and he lost last year in the quarterfinal to Mark Selby. Quite an achievement to get through to the semi-final of this great tournament. It's your 2nd visit here. Chances
11.
there. It's not an easy one.
Just have a look at the possibility of playing for the pink, and I don't think the black's completely tied up. Not saying he played for the black off this red, but if he could get on the pink, certainly help matters. We'll soon know if he's playing for the pink, who just stopped the pink's on. Didn't have to do anything at all, and I think when he pots the pink, just by nudging the red away from below the pink, he will make the pink spot available. So this chance is looking better and better as each ball goes in. Well, I couldn't have played it like that. Could not have played it like that. You've got to play to screw. You've got to play a little screw shot.
18.
So when you pot it, you come off the other red. There was a certain red into the left corner. Well, a little bit of inexperience there for me there. That was a poor positional shot.
Mark Allen, 18.
Well, good length with the cue ball, but there is a red to the right corner. It all depends. If it's straight, it's difficult. If it's just off straight, then he can play it with pace and confidence. He could play it with pace and confidence, and what a terrific pot that was. And he's got the perfect angle on the blue. The only downside is the cue ball is so close to the side cushion, and he can't do a lot with the cue ball, but that was a terrific pot.
Now that may be unlucky.
Unlucky? I think it might be a right result, to be honest with you, Dennis. That red just above the black does go. And not only can he possibly play it, he may be able to play for the black as well.
At first glance, from this picture, I didn't think the red potted, but clearly it does, as you can see.
Oh, but he's missed the cannon.
7.
He missed the cannon on the second red. Another poor positional shot, it has to be said. That's 2 good chances he's had here, and his positional side of the shot has let him down.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if the white jumped a little bit when he was screwing back there, because he was striking down on the ball. Let's have a look, see if it jumps. Yeah, the white jumped, so I'm wondering if that just threw it offline a little bit, John.
Yes, could well have done. And the thing was, he didn't have to play for the black if he didn't want to. He could have gone through and played for the pink in the left middle. I think he can maybe just hit the black, but he can't play safe off it. Not a good safety anyway.
Mark Allen 7.
Yeah, that was all he could do there with that. Just over 31 minutes now since Mark Selby last potted a red. Can he find a good safety here? I think this is a bit thin to take the pot on. So no, he did take the pot on, and he has potted it. And is he going to come past the baulk line? Just very good shot indeed. It was worth waiting 31 minutes for that pot.